First timers. Okay, all right. So we're all repeats. That's fine. Who's Kay? Kay, who are you, please?
Oh, um, I met you at the
Raquel.
yes.
All right. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
You sound like a different person. You know that, right?
I know I am a different person.
Awesome.
Are you up for sharing your story?
Um, yeah, I can share my story.
Because you're not the same person right now. So I think people need to hear this, and then we'll get some aha moments. So go ahead, Kay. Tell us your story.
Well, I've been fighting MRSA for 3 years, and then it turned into cancer. And Gretchen ran into a friend of mine who said that I needed to learn what she was doing because she was fighting what I was fighting, but she was experiencing some major improvement. And so I was fed up with trying. I had been to 5 different pathologists, natural pathologists, and they had failed me. And I was just at the point of thinking that there's just nothing more that I can do, but I hadn't given up. The sisters weren't letting me do that. So they ran into Gretchen. She told her about the micronutrients. And when they said nano nutrition, I said, okay, that sounds like something I would try. And I wanted it immediately overnight. So I started it at the end of May because I was fighting some serious cancer. It was in my stomach, it was in my bone, and in my blood. So we had to fight it quick. And this sounded like this would be um, what I needed to fight with. And so we tried it, and by August, my body was responding quickly to the nutrition, and I took um, the therapeutic dose, which is the 27 pills total per day. That was the microdaily, along with the um, probiotic and also the omega 3.
Yep.
So in taking that, when I first started off, I didn't notice any different, but I was encouraged to give it 3 months. And by August, I had so much energy. I could tell I was starting to turn around because I felt stronger. I was very weak. I was on the couch for almost 3 years with the MRSA and the other conditions that it brought on. But by August, I was a different person. I had enough energy to meet with you all in Florida. I didn't think I would go, but the friends who encouraged me to take the microdelics also encouraged me to come. And if I could just do one day, well, I ended up doing all both days. So I I had more energy than I thought, and my immune had gotten stronger than I thought because I was afraid of being around people. I hadn't been around people in all of that time, other than my doctor's appointments. And when I came around everyone, I was excited. I even learned something new about myself, and from that point on, I haven't been back on that couch. I've been out the door and back to my daily routine. I also had my numbers tested, and my doctors, they didn't see anything, so they cleared me, and I've just been. Still take the same therapeutic dose. I don't want to take a chance. I haven't reduced it because it's sustaining me, and I just feel like my body needs it, and um, I just feel like the MRSA with MRSA, it's a little different than the cancer, and we're still fighting, but I'm not weakened like I was before. So my body is still, in the fighting stage. My cells said we're living. we're gonna do this. So that's what we're doing. We're fighting.
Wow, that's that's an amazing story, Raquel. And thank you for sharing. We should have had you featured on the program today.
Yeah.
You know,
I,
because if anybody has an immune system dysfunction story, it was yours.
it was very, and you asked for us the last time we had an opportunity to meet to give our story, and I was uncertain as to do mine, whether to add pictures so the people see how bad. I don't know if I should, but they were really bad of what was done to my body, but people would not realize how much the human body is able to heal itself and just replace those cells. My body was so eaten up. What it looks like now, it's night and day, and I'm amazed at what nutrition can do for you.
Mm, wow. Food is life or death. Choose wisely.
Hmm.
So that's amazing. Yes, and I'm hoping that you will. If you can include pictures in yours, you can send a video, and then we can determine to what degree you want to release it. We can, do some editing and all that kind of stuff
Okay.
to change it. So please do. We need that. I think everybody needs to have all these stories. We got to get this cataloged so we can push this out there. We got a lot of work to do. That's just absolutely amazing. So congratulations on your success. Mm, mm, mm,
Thank you. Thank you all for helping me, Gretchen and all. I
mm, mm,
appreciate that.
mm. Yes, indeed. Okay.
My
So
pleasure.
yeah, Gretchen, amazing. That's it. But let's get some aha moments from today's program. Was there anything that just made your light bulb fire off? Anything in
I,
particular? Who had it?
I had never heard Gretchen's story about the bone density, so that was great for me to hear because I believe they gave it to me, with
Mm.
that prednisone, and but I got a problem with the parathyroid, so I got to get that fixed first, and then I can do what Gretchen did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. I think that was pretty amazing too. Angelique,
Hmm.
you were first up.
Gretchen's story too was amazing to me because a couple of people I know just recently told me that they're having bone density problems. So I was like, man, if I could have just had that little short spot and send it to them right now.
Can you can? We had a little lesson on doing clips. So you go straight to Gretchen's story on the recording and click share and have it say start at this point or take a clip from that point and send it. You can do it right now.
And Alfreda's that's amazing too. But this is just a thought that was in my head because Alfreda, I don't know how long have you been on Micro Daily? It's like, is your body just dealing with one issue at a time and you're doing a healing process with with these different issues that keep popping up or are popping up, not keep popping up, but are popping up?
Well, doing the research, going all the way back to age 16. I
Uh-huh.
had mono at age 16, and what create the mono, Jonathan, is that the Epstein-Barr virus or
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
it has to do with that. And I saw something yesterday, a video was showing how the Epstein-Barr virus can go into hiding in your immune system, and then it can pop out. And so, like I said, maybe 25 years ago, maybe even 30, when they would test me, I would always test on Sjogren's side, but that's the same test that they do for lupus. And so I would but it would always, they would say, oh, it's Sjogren's. And so the things that would make me go to the hospital, the symptoms have been the same for a long, long time. I would get numbness in my brain, just on the left side of my face, down my arm. And so I thought, and the doctors always thought it was a TIA, but when I would go, they could never find anything. And so it took, but this time, because I am older, I think more stuff started to go out of whack. And then this time, fortunately, I had doctors that looked deeper into what was happening. And because I kept telling Jonathan, I said, there's got to be something. It's like the umbrella. What's the umbrella that all these drips are happening? And that was the lupus. The lupus was causing my migraines, um, pain in my joints, and they said I had spots on my lungs. Probably the lymph nodes swelling, the white blood cell count being low. It was like it was so much stuff. I was like, what in the world is happening? But it was all, I think, driven by the lupus, and so um, once I started putting out the individual fires and then they finally diagnosed it, then I could work on just that. And so working on that has put all the other things back in place, or they're gone now. But just researching everything, you could have the the you know how they say that shingles could reappear,
Yeah.
and so I think this is similar,
Yep.
but
The
and it
reason I
could have
was
been.
asking, because my sister has gotten sick, but they haven't diagnosed. The only thing they came up with was cirrhosis of the liver, but she was not really a drinker or anything. And so they really haven't found anything as to what is the problem. Why she's like disintegrating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's got to find out what's causing that, because that could take her out of here.
My husband James thinks it's hepatitis or AIDS, but the doctors haven't come up with anything. Yeah, HIV.
Yeah. And that's where the challenge comes in with isolating these things. And this is also part of the reason why I know it sounds like a broken record sometime, but I always say that we cannot take the same amount that a healthy 20-year-old, would take. So I know that there's a lot of people who think that, well, let me just take the maintenance dose and I'll be okay. But we have an onslaught of things trying to destroy our body's DNA. I don't know. Did that one slide stand out to anybody? The one showing free radicals attacking us from every which way. That one to me was a little bit in the mind numbing category. So, and that it doesn't even include everything. That picture doesn't even include everything, because there's no picture of water on there. There's no picture of food on there. But I guess it's sort of wrapped up in there in some one way or another. But everything's trying to destroy our DNA. So then add to that aging. Put aging on that list. Our body's breaking down, and we're going to try to get by with what Dr. Prasad recommended for a healthy 20-year-old soldier. No, it won't work. So we most of us should be doing chronic doses of micro daily every day. So if the budget will allow it, seniors, we should be doing more. We should be doing about at least chronic doses and other things. and other things. So we can't just get by. It's just not going to work. Veronica, go ahead.
I was just going to add, we think we have these different symptoms in the world we're living in. We want to try to find out what is going on, right? What's the problem? And I
Right.
think in the medical field, if they find that it's a fatty liver, well, they're going to send you down this line. And if they find that it's something with your pancreas, they'll send you down a different line. And if they
Yep.
find that it's cancer, they'll send you down a different line. But you are what you eat, right? And so
Yep.
one of the beautiful things I love about Micro Daily is that if you just give your body the nutrition, it may not matter if it's fatty liver or if it's your pancreas or if it's shingles or it's lupus. We keep seeing the thing over and over again, taking the therapeutic dose, and it's going to give your body all the nutrients to fix whatever the problem is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. See, so chronic dose is just where most of us are. I have no issues, no health issues, except, I keep telling you guys about my big toe on my back. But it takes a chronic dose to keep that at bay. So now if I come along with a health problem, I got to go 3x. I have got to go 3x. And that's very similar to what happened with Deborah. She couldn't, not a spring chicken anymore, cancer, and now osteoporosis. A single dose? No, not even a double dose was going to do it. And the proof is in what she did. She went therapeutic. She went to not therapeutic cancer. She went to therapeutic. That's triple doses twice a day. And then she added the D3 and some calcium. And if you add some K2 in there to make sure that the calcium goes to the bones, oh, you got something there. That should be like, I think it's like 45 micrograms per 5,000 units of D3 is the basic formula, according to a couple of doctors and scientists. That's what you should be taking of the K2 to make sure that calcium goes to your bones and teeth. And that was the other reason why that protein product that we all staked our lives on for so long had a negative side to it. Protein leaches calcium. And there we were taking high doses of a protein supplement every day to raise our glutathione levels, and it was leaching calcium. Very little, very slow, but that's what it does. So you have to offset that. And micronutrients is a good way to offset it. Alfreda, go ahead. And don't forget, if you guys got more aha moments, get the hands up there. Let's get the aha moments before we shift gears.
I was going to say too, even though I had so much going on, all these sirens and stuff, it still protected me from cancer.
Yep.
And what was the other thing I said? They were checking me for cancer. And then they said, because my white blood cell count was down to 400 neutrophils, which is dangerously low. I mean, my doctor was really afraid of me catching something and I would not be able to fight it off, but my levels had been low since March of 24, and I only found out about it, in like December of 24, because they didn't put it in my chart. So for 9 months, I'm walking around, in everybody's face, but I'm not getting nothing. And that was also something that Micro Daily protected me from.
Yep.
Yep.
Could have been much worse.
Those things, yeah, it could have been a whole lot worse if I hadn't been on Micro Daily.
Yep. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Go ahead, Kay.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, you said the protein leaches out calcium. Is that just in taking supplements or food? Because I
We
have
have
added.
we have to have protein for food. So That's critically important. But
Yeah, so
we were
well,
taking a
mhm.
protein supplement. We were taking, it was a whey protein. And for years, this is not like for a month or two. This was for years we were taking, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60 grams a day. So that's the problem.
Okay, because I've since incorporated in my diet more flaxseed, chia seed, hemp seed, things like that, which are high protein.
Yep.
And
Oh,
I use it as a grain for bread and things of that sort.
yeah. Normal food, you're okay.
Okay, that's what
Normal
I
food,
wanted.
you're okay. And remember, this would be for like many, many years,
Okay.
and as long as you're taking some calcium, you're okay. But we did not realize to what degree it was that important, because when I was younger, I could bite on rocks and break them. But after a few years of taking the high protein, my teeth were just chipping at the slightest thing. I was getting cavities like crazy, and I kept trying to say something is not right here, and
Hmm.
it hasn't changed until I got away from the protein supplement on a regular basis like that.
Okay.
Total difference. So
Okay.
good question. Thank you. And Joyce, go ahead.
Yeah, mine is not a aha moment, but I find out today that this player, I mean, not like professional football player, but he was really good. He went to college and all that stuff. And now he's got some kind of spine situation going on wherein um, he has to be moving with a cane. So I just thought, since we talking about different things, if I could ask the question in reference to, you think that this would contribute to maybe helping him? I'm just in any kind of way.
Yeah, no question about it. Veronica just said it. You are what you eat. So every single disease is an indication of some level of malnutrition.
Okay.
That's really what it boils down to. Now, is it going to happen like instantly? Is it going to just change immediately for the person? No. They have to also work with it.
So
So
what would you recommend? I mean, when I talk to them and maybe find out exactly what the doctors say, I know I could call on Bernard, because Bernard do try to, talk to me now, since, my other partner is not with me. But when I kind of maybe talk to him and find out exactly what he tell me, it seems as though that he may have to do this therapeutic dose, which y'all talking about, right or wrong.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. But whatever his condition is, we can also help you by, giving you a research document that could help.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So by all means, work with Bernard. But if you
Right.
happen to need that, make sure that you let me know, and we'll.
Okay. Well, matter of fact, because he's not on tonight, I will make sure and tell him what you told me. So thank you very much for confirmation.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And it's on the recording, so it's right here. This is all being recorded.
Gotcha.
All right. Alfreda, go ahead.
Another subject, different question. Do our products block cadmium? Is that, am I saying it right?
Glutathione will
Flax?
bind. Glutathione will bind to cadmium, lead, and metals.
Okay, because I just was watching something else. Sanjay Gupta, he was saying how that is the one that causes the damage in the brain, that and then the amyloid plaque is like
Yeah,
the scar tissue.
that leads to
So
Alzheimer's.
yeah.
Mhm.
So but I didn't realize that with the raising glutathione will bind, because they were saying some honey, uh, this certain type of honey in another product
What, Manuka
would
honey?
bind to it. No, not Manuka, another kind,
Okay,
and then something else would bind to it and remove it. So
that's interesting. Well,
yeah,
keeping glutathione levels high is important. So
okay,
and no doubt about that. So, and that's, again, there's another reason for at least double doses of microdaily. And the minute you start having trouble, just suck it up and do a triple dose. So as soon as you start having problems, just do a triple dose and get it over with. Just stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. We are not young spring chickens. It's just not there. Sorry. We got to take more. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And get moving. I mean, how many, show of hands, how many is getting 7,000 steps in a day? Yeah. Okay. Go, Maggie.
Most of the time.
Okay.
I needed less than 1,000 to get it for today.
Yep. It's a real challenge. So I'm shopping for a treadmill, by the way, because if I have a treadmill, I have a better chance of absolutely getting it. Because the minute that it's raining outside, that's my excuse. I take it. I take any excuse that comes my way, I'll take it. But if there's a treadmill sitting right over here, oh, that's a whole different story. So I'll slap it on my schedule and just do it.
But we got
7,000 steps.
we got snow. That's
Yeah,
my
see?
excuse.
That's what I'm seeing.
No.
See? Yeah. That's what will happen to us. We would take the excuse when it comes.
They
So,
have walking in place. That's a good video.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And trampoline is good also. So I have
Yeah,
been
the little
working
mini
on,
tramp, the
yeah.
rebounders are really good.
Yeah.
Set it for
Mhm.
30 minutes, watch the
Yeah.
news, whatever, do your
Yeah.
stuff and get off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everything that you normally doing and on that couch and in that chair, do it on that trampoline. Yeah. And even if you have to break it up to 10 minutes, 3 times a day, do it. That's about as close as you can get to that 7,000 steps right there. So go ahead, Veronica.
I was going to change the subject here and bring up the subject reverse transcriptase.
Oh, yeah. 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 My head was spinning. I was having trouble even trying to pronounce it.
Mhm.
That's university stuff, man.
Man, no, we went to school today.
So with that, do you remember exactly what he said was in the micro daily that stops that?
Vitamin E Succinate.
Yeah, okay. That's what I have in the notes. Sure.
Yep. Vitamin E, that was just mind-boggling, to hear
And
that.
what was that? What is that again?
Vitamin E Succinate. It blocks
No,
reverse
reverse.
transcriptase.
Which
That.
is an enzyme which will take an RNA and turn it into your DNA. So RNA should just be a little piece of the gene. It does not belong in there. It should be a copy of it. But when you get RNAs from other places, viruses and that kind of things, injections and that kind of thing, we don't want it being added to our DNA, to our blueprint.
And that's how that stupid cell takes over producing more viruses. That's how it does it. It hijacks your cell. Hijacks your cell, incorporates itself into your body and cause you to make more HIV. And I think it was Awake magazine. I think I read this about 20 years ago that shows that it's a T cell that can brush up against any cell because most cells look healthy. And even an HIV populated cell looks healthy. There's no marker on the outside that says, yeah, I'm a bad guy. But a T cell brushes up against it and can figure out that one's infected, injects it, apoptosis, everything in it dead. That's why T cell count is so important for someone with HIV. Awake magazine, look it up.
T cell.
Yep.
And that's where monoclonal expansion comes in now. You need
That's why monoclonal expansion of T cells is so important. And again, NAC will do that because you raise glutathione and it promotes the monoclonal expansion of T cells. Yep. Go ahead, Gretchen. And that's why we were all taking that protein, by the way. That's why we were taking the protein for glutathione, T cells. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I have someone on the line, and we were trying to find out the website that Deborah gave me for the calcium succinate. And did you have another question?
Yeah, about the K2D3. Do you
Oh.
take them both together?
Yeah, they sometimes sell them together
Yeah,
as a combination.
I think the one that Deborah gave me had it in there. Am I correct, Deborah? Did she step away?
Yeah, probably.
No. I'm still here. I think you were doing the Solgar. It had the D3, and it's a really good combination because it has the 2-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium that's needed for it to be absorbed, and it has the vitamin D. So it has the 2-to-1 calcium to magnesium plus vitamin D, so your body will absorb it properly. It didn't have the K in it, I don't think.
D3?
No, this was that product that Gretchen was taking was calcium and D3 combination, D3 with calcium combination. I was simply suggesting, based off of additional research, that vitamin K2 is also good because it pulls calcium out of your arteries and directs it towards your bones. So it just kind of it's a little bit of a guarantee that it doesn't build up in in your arteries, coronary arteries. So even if you just do 42 to 45 micrograms a day. Bob, you were commenting on that?
Yeah. Actually, I used to take high levels of vitamin D, but then you had to take the K2 with it because it can cause calcification, right? That's the just the vitamin D, so you really have to do that balance in order to contract that.
Add it in there. Add it in there. I mean, there's been 2 or 3 different scientists, I think, that that I follow that recommended that. So about 45 micrograms per 5,000 units of D3. And that's just your little bit of guarantee that it will not cause calcification in your arteries. It makes sure that the calcium does not build up in your arteries and it goes to your bones where you want it to go. Along with, what Deborah said as well. So good. Thank you. All right. Just real quick. Last time we were talking about getting those quick stories together. So how many have been successful in getting your stories together? Your 2-minute, 3-minute story? All right. So back to the drawing board. That's the assignment. Start writing it up so we can start critiquing our stories. We want to start putting these together so that, because remember the reason why we were doing the stories? Who remembers the reason why we were focusing on getting our story down pat?
Because
Alfreda didn't do it. Yeah, Alfreda didn't do it. So Alfreda went to town today with her story.
I didn't know about it. Okay.
That's okay.
Where do we send it?
Well, we'll talk about it. So you can email it to me. You guys you can email me your stories if you want.
James wanted to say the reason why.
Story sells.
There you go. Story sells.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And remember, as seniors, your biggest commodity is your story. Right? That's what we were going over on the training session that we did a few weeks ago. Was that's a big deal, but you got to get it to where it's tight. So where the most important parts of it is what's being presented, so everything that, my cousin said and everything that his wife said and everything that the daughter said and what the doctor said to her and what the nurse said to him and what the ambulance driver also said, and the fact that the guy comes from, Peoria, where there happens to be a higher rate of kryptonite in the soil, is irrelevant. So I measured this. I was diagnosed with this. I began doing that. This is what happened to me. This is where I am now. All the details, that's what you sip over coffee and tell. So because the people who are listening, they want to know the facts. And by the way, here's what I did to do that. Will it work for you? I don't know. But it's Dr. Prasad's formula and it's science. So just get the story to where you're telling it and add some authority behind it somewhere, somehow. And if it's not your story, borrow one. And that's why we're going to be sharing each other's stories. So let's figure out how we can get those down to where they need to be. And AI says that when it comes to network marketing, remember, you have trust on your side. I still remember being in my 20s trying to figure out why I could not be successful in network marketing, why I could not be successful. I mean, because people look at a 20-year-old and they say, what in the world do you know? They look at a 30-year-old and say, yeah, right. But once you get a few miles on you, you're now a senior, they think you know something. And guess what? You do know something because you've lived long enough to know something. And your health, the fact that you're controlling your health is a direct indication that you must know something. Just the other day, it's not too long ago. What was the question? Someone asked me a question. Oh, it had to do with COVID. Somehow during the conversation, the question came up about the vaccine, and I mentioned that there were consequences if you didn't take a certain vaccine, and then he simply said, "Wait a minute, you never got one?" I said, "No, I had 2 doctors, a veterinarian, and a Starbucks boost. What do you call those people that sell Starbucks coffee that recommended that I not?" And he simply said, "Well, I need to do what you're doing, because how? And you never got COVID during that whole time? Never. I need what you're doing." See, everything changes when people say somehow or another you've been successful at something when everybody else is dealing with that. Everything changes. So leverage your trust capital. Now, if I'd made that statement back when I was in my 30s, it would have gone nowhere, but it's a whole different story today. So go ahead, Kathy.
So can I do James' story right now?
Go ahead.
Okay, this is what I usually tell people, how my husband James had a stroke when he was 59. And it wasn't a clot, it was a bleeder. And so his doctor said later on that more than
cash
likely,
out stroke.
yes, he should have died. So his doctor said more than likely he'll have another stroke, and he will probably die from that one.
Usually
So
within
I
5
started,
years.
yeah. So I started thinking, and praying, I got to find something that will stop him from having another stroke. And that's when we ended up talking to Jonathan, and he said, well, I got a product. Maybe you guys can try it and see what happens. So he started taking the micro daily. And then after a couple of years, maybe it wasn't a year, but anyway, he went back to the same hospital but for a different reason. And so they realized, well, you were in this hospital for a stroke. Let's do a scan and see what's going on with your brain now. And they said, oh, you're not going to have another stroke. You're good. You're clear. So I know that it works.
Yeah. How much did he take?
That's a good story.
Yeah. I asked because my husband he's having strokes.
Chronic
Well,
doses.
he at that time we didn't know about taking the extra doses, so we just took the regular dose. And also his doctor told him he was going to end up being a diabetic. And every time he goes and gets his checkup, he says, well, do I have diabetes yet? And they go, no, you still don't have it. So no more stroke and no diabetes, which is the 2 things they kept saying, this is what you're going to have. This is what you're going to have. And he did not get COVID. We did not get COVID.
Now, their story kind of blows some of my theory apart, and that's the reason why most people have been ignoring me with taking chronic doses, because we got so many miles on us. And Dr. Prasad, I will have to admit, Dr. Prasad said it will just take longer if you take the standard doses. You get the result. It will take longer. And I've had people with diabetes that take the standard dose and they get frustrated. They don't get the results. But if they stay with it for 6 months to a year, yeah, they would get the results. They would get the results. But if you want faster and if you want surefire, go to the chronic dose. And that's what will give you your results. But I don't know, Kathy, that's a pretty good story. And those are the facts. What you related are the facts. I mean, any other opinions on this? Anybody? She's looking for some critique. Did she tell enough?
Yeah, it was to the point.
Because she could quadruple that story. She could tell us a 30-minute version of it. Don't you have a 30-minute version of that story, Kathy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But she managed to do that in about a minute and a half. So that's pretty good. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. So number 1 on this new list, leverage your trust capital. That's what it's called. Trust capital. That's what Gemini calls it. Trust capital. A lifetime of integrity translates to trust capital. When a senior recommends a product, their network takes it seriously because they aren't seen as influencers chasing a quick buck. You're not looking to build clicks. You're not looking to get likes on your YouTube channel. You're not looking to get TikTok views. It's trust capital. That's the difference. So learn to lead with a personal experience rather than a sales script. And you may not even get to the sales script. Stay away from that. Your best close is when the person did what, which one of y'all said that? Alfreda said it. I just kept saying, I use a patented micronutrient. She waited for the doctor to say, tell me about it. That's patience. That's a seasoned networker right there. She waited until the doctor said, tell me about it. Because that's what she was looking for. She wasn't looking for an opportunity to just blurt it all out. She was dropping nuggets and waiting to see who would pick it up. So I do that all the time, by the way. And let me tell you how powerful that is. Let me tell you how powerful it is. And I said, boy, I stuck this little patch on my, because yesterday, this is what it's today, Sunday. Yesterday, I had to go to a funeral, and I was finally getting ready to go around 12 something. And that morning, I had to take care of some stuff on the patio because we were having some guests. And this guest loves to do a fish fry, and our patio is well suited for that. So he comes and he sets up his thing. So now, as easy as it may seem, somebody's got to clean the patio up to make sure that it's presentable. And I'm the one behind the push broom. Anyway, by the time I'm getting ready to go to this funeral, it felt like someone stuck an ice pick in my lumbar. And it was pretty nasty. It was bad. And so much so that I was not going to go. But I happened to mention to one of the guests last night that, yeah, it was terrible. I had this pain and I stuck this little patch on there and it just went away in about 10 seconds. She said, what? Huh? What? Tell me about that. And I said, well, you don't want to hear about that. If you got a knee problem and torn meniscus, what you want to hear about is what happened to Adelina Williams. When she took microdaily in college and peptide and she did not need knee surgery anymore. She said, okay, tell me about that one. But see, when they start asking questions, now you got them. You got them. Because remember, trust capital. You have trust capital. You can leverage that. Leverage that, but be patient. Don't ever seem like you're trying to sell. You're just trying to tell, and that works in your favor. And then here's the second one. It says, master the high touch approach over high tech approach. Ooh, what does that mean? High touch approach instead of high tech approach. Here's what it
touches,
says.
calling people.
Touches.
Yeah, to, because you sometimes with a lot of people, you have to do maybe at least 5 conversations with them sometimes before you get them to really hear what you're saying. Norma and I did that today with one of her clients that just wasn't hearing what the benefits of him becoming a preferred customer and signing his wife up. No, him becoming an affiliate and then signing his wife up as a preferred customer. So I had to, because all he was worried about was the dollars going out. And I was trying to tell him how the program works so they might go out, but they're going to boomerang right back to you. And
Yep.
so just helping people to understand that, what our roles are. My role is to help you maximize what you are spending, so that you can minimize what's going out and maximize the amount of products that you can get, because then you have a cushion that you can work with. And so he was finally getting it today, but we'll see. His wife got it more than he did though, but um, we're hoping that he'll do what's beneficial for himself and his family.
Very good. Very good. So the concept behind high touch versus high tech, here's what it says. In an era of automated bots and spam text, a genuine phone call or a handwritten note is a purple cow. It stands out remarkably. High touch. So the personal touch, the phone call. That's why Dolores has been so successful. She became the first Diamond 30 in my entire organization because she was high touch instead of high tech. I still remember the first time when she got so she said, "Now listen now, Jonathan, I don't know how to text." I got, what did you tell me, Dolores? She said, I got 10 grandchildren and I got 12 great grandchildren. You talking about texting now? I said, don't you worry about that. You do whatever you do. And sure enough, Dolores became high touch, not high tech. So that's what's recommended. That's why she's so successful. So a phone call or a handwritten note is a purple cow. It stands out. So that's what you want. And as seniors, you can make a difference like that. And they say here, a physical notebook, having an actual conversation with people, all of that makes a big, big difference, and you will be effective. And the last one I want to mention is what we talked about at the beginning, right? So the first one was trust capital, leverage your trust capital. And this time it puts down here at number 4, storytelling as a business tool. So that's the reason why these stories are so important. Seniors have more life context to draw from, making them natural storytellers, but learn to get it tight. So here's the concept. Facts tell, stories sell. A 25-year-old selling a health supplement that talks about energy. A 70-year-old selling the same supplement talks about being able to play with the grandkids for an hour without sitting down. The latter is far more powerful. So the 25-year-old talking about energy, that's one thing. But a 70-year-old talking about being able to play with the grandkids, that's a different story. It's far more powerful because you have context, you have life experience that you can add to any story. It's not just a fact. It is a life-changing fact, life-changing experience. Tell the story, because how it affects you makes all the difference in the world. Remember Virginia Gilbeaux? Still one of the highest viewed videos on my channel is Virginia. 91-year-old Virginia Gilbeaux calling me in the middle of the night and apologizing for calling me. Man, you never have to apologize for calling me in the middle of the night. So, and by the way, just so y'all know, my phone is off in the middle of the night. So I just noticed that there was a missed call. That's what happened. So, but my phone cannot wake me up in the middle of the night because sleep is too valuable. So I don't let that happen. But her story is amazing. She would be out of breath just going from her bed to the bathroom to use the toilet. She'd have to stand there on the sink, she said, for about a half an hour just to catch her breath, to brush her teeth. So, but after just a couple of days of micro daily, she just got up out the bed, walked to the bathroom, came back and sat down and said, wait, what? She said, what just happened? Her life changed. Her life changed. And then she tells the story about walking 3 or 4 city blocks to catch the next train, keeping up with her daughter in her 60s. Woman who was out of breath, just going from the bedroom to the bathroom. She walked city blocks, keeping up with her daughter. So that story is amazing. So we're going to tap into those. And again, we're going to catalog them and make sure that they're easier to access. So we go from there. So let's work on getting our stories and condensing our stories so you have something that you can share in a way that you can get your message out real quickly, because that's your capital. You got trust, and your story is your capital. Okay? All right. Any last words?
Can you put in the chat your calendar, your regular calendar again?
I did.
Oh,
Both calendars is in the association chat.
okay.
There's one that's a group calendar for a group meeting, one that you want to do a group training. So in other words, you're putting together a bunch of people, whatever, it's more than 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
You got a group. You know, it's your group for training. It's a group that you want to do a whole presentation to, whatever. That's a group link. So that calendar is there. And I've only narrowed down to maybe 1 or 2 time slots that I can do that. But the 3-way call and the one-on-one one, the engage with Jonathan, that's 15 minutes to 45 minutes. And that's it. Both of them are right there in the same chat, in the association chat. So if you're in the association chat, scroll up and just look. They're both there. Both links are there. That's how you get on my calendar.
Thank you.
Any other final words? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Best team in all of Engage.
Thank you.
Bernard Dean is doing an opportunity meeting next Sunday. So Bernard is doing an opportunity meeting next Sunday. So you know that we will not have business meeting Sunday.
What you mean by opportunity next Sunday? What do you mean by that?
Bernard is talking about the Engage opportunity next Sunday. That's
okay, gotcha.
That's the conference. It will not be a Prasad conference. It's Bernard Dean and opportunity.
I got you. Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right, you guys. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You too. Thank you, Jonathan.
You know I'm going to watch football game. Okay. Yep. So don't text me. Don't call.
Enjoy.
Off the clock. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you, Jonathan. We appreciate you. More than you know.
Go Buckeyes! Go Buckeyes!
Stay safe, everyone.
Good night, all. Deborah, I need to talk to you.
Okay, when you want me to call you?
Jump on my calendar, please. We need to talk about that voice scan.
Okay.
Please,
all right, sounds
please,
like a
please,
plan.
please. At your convenience, pick a time on there.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, everybody.